In politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing happens out of mere coincidence. There is no way Raphael Tuju can come out from nowhere and start making wild allegations he made yesterday. For those who've been following the politics of this country, it is now getting piggy and is now getting nasty. Raphael Tuju was on Inooro TV in the morning yesterday, and he explained to the listeners that President Uhuru Kenyatta actually bought William Samoei Arap Ruto. Again yesterday at night, during prime time on Citizen TV, Raphael Tuju explained to Kenyans that President Uhuru Kenyatta bought William Samoei Arap Ruto, and that the payments were actually in two installments. The first installment was in the form of money, cash, and it was running into billions. And the reason William Ruto demanded for that first installment, which was money, was to enable him go to his people, the Kalenjin community, and convince them to support President Uhuru Kenyatta. For those who follow the politics of this country, what Raphael Tuju was saying is not new, because you all know that after the 2007 general election, William Samoei Arap Ruto was the biggest enemy of the Kikuyu nation, and President Uhuru Kenyatta was also the biggest enemy of the Kalenjin. Actually, there was the Kalenjin versus Kikuyu rivalry. So it was going to be difficult to convince the Kalenjins. So William Ruto needed the money. That's what Raphael Tuju is saying. And he was given that money. The second installment, according to Raphael Tuju, was in the form of appointments that William Ruto demanded a share of government, and that the Deputy President demanded key ministries in this country: the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Agriculture, and others, and that he used those ministries to actually loot, and President Uhuru Kenyatta could do nothing because he had control of parliament. And Raphael Tuju is adding something very interesting, that he can actually stand before a court to defend his position. And he's also acknowledging that William Ruto actually helped President Uhuru Kenyatta to become the president, and that he has evidence of the payment. Remember, Raphael Tuju is one of the close allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And also remember, Raphael Tuju was a key member of President Uhuru Kenyatta in the first term and in the second term. So probably when Raphael Tuju speaks, I normally see the hands of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And talking of being bought, personally, I don't have any problem whatsoever with William Ruto demanding for money from President Uhuru Kenyatta. Why? Because politics is about interest. And even during those times, there were, for those who interact with the political powers along the corridors of powers, there has always been this story that William Ruto was going to be Raila Odinga's running mate. He proposed a figure. I think they were saying it was it 4 billion? He proposed that figure. Raila Odinga could not afford. That's when the Kenyatta family ended up very fast consolidating the money, which they handed over to the DP. Those are grapevines. But what were the objectives of Raphael Tuju's statements? Because in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. In this video, I want us to look at the objectives which Raphael Tuju wanted to achieve by making such kind of allegations. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two. Click that subscribe button now so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. So please, I want to ask you to take a second, grab a seat, if you have some popcorns, so that we can dissect the objectives, what Raphael Tuju wanted to achieve by this particular statement, and why he targeted those TV stations. He first began with the Inooro, went to Citizen, then Ramogi. Ramogi has wide reach in Nyanza. Inooro had a wider reach in the mountain. And Citizen TV is a national TV. So which means today, tomorrow, we are likely to wake up to a Raphael Tuju's headline in the dailies. Now, but what were the objectives of Raphael Tuju's statement? Number one, I tend to think that President Uhuru Kenyatta, Jubilee and Azimio are trying to dismantle William Ruto's claim on being owed by the Kikuyus. Basically, the debt narrative. You know, William Ruto and his brigades are telling the mountain that when I supported Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila was not there. When Uhuru wanted someone to stand by him, Raila was nowhere. But Raphael Tuju is now telling them that as much as Uhuru wanted the support of the DP, he didn't just come. William Ruto never supported the president just because he loved the president. The president actually paid him for that service. That's what I'm getting. So they are trying to dismantle this narrative that the Kikuyu nation must vote for Ruto as a form of thank you. So that's number one. Number two, I also tend to think that Raphael Tuju is working for someone. Let's say President Uhuru Kenyatta. And one of the things President Uhuru Kenyatta has mastered is how to deal with William Samoei Arap Ruto. He has perfected the art of provocation. That you provoke William Ruto, then the next day he will be mad. He will start throwing words here, words there. So in my view, I think the objective of Raphael Tuju's statement is just simple. Provoke the Deputy President and the entire Kenya Kwanza brigades, so that tomorrow they will go out there and start talking about Raphael Tuju. And of course, you all understand that Raphael Tuju has not been in good books with William Ruto for a very long time. And very few Kenyans have been able to explain where or why they have been fighting. So I think he wants us to provoke the DP, then the DP will start responding, and Raila Odinga will be moving on. The deep state will be moving on with whatever they are planning. So that's number two. Number three, I also tend to think that these guys are now out to destroy the reputation of William Samoei Arap Ruto. Raphael Tuju is asking himself a simple question. That when you talk of reputation, does the Deputy President have any reputation or has any reputation? That's the question. So I tend to think that their objective is generally to destroy the image of the DP. William Ruto is contesting for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya. Currently in this Africa and the entire continent, the world over, the attention of the media are on Kenyan election. And now someone like Raphael Tuju coming out to allege that this guy was actually bought. He took money to support the president, and then he took cabinet secretaries in the form of payment just to loot. So the international community will now start focusing on William Ruto. they will start focusing on William Ruto, and his reputation is going to be destroyed. I don't want to imagine that tomorrow we will wake up to a David Murathe or even a Tuli making another statement. Number 4, in my view, I also tend to think that the main reason why Raphael Tuju is now coming out is their reaction to the debate, the presidential debate, which was hosted by Eric Latif and Yvonne Okwara. Why am I saying this? The truth of the matter is that during that debate, there are certain things which William Ruto said, and Kenyans had started believing some of those, though majority of Kenyans were not believing. So, to react, to counter those truths which the Deputy President stated, they're now coming for him. You are bought, you are corrupt. Raphael Tuju even mentioned that the lands the Deputy President owns, and it's very interesting. And lastly, I also tend to think that this whole thing is about persuading the undecided to decide. The truth of the matter is that the 2022 general election is going to be decided on the 9th. So far, there are still majority of Kenyans who are undecided. I'm looking at a figure of 2 or 3%. If they were persuaded by William Ruto's statement yesterday, what Raphael Tuju has done is to counter, so that William Ruto is going to be painted black. Then the undecided might actually be persuaded to start supporting Raila Odinga. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.